For my 18th birthday, my family handed me an eviction notice from my own house. We need it more. They laughed together. I said nothing, just signed some papers and left. On their wedding day, when the sheriff arrived with real ownership documents, their celebratory smiles instantly vanished. The house had been left to me by my grandfather, a successful real estate investor. His will stipulated that full ownership would legally transfer to me on my 18th birthday. My divorced mother and her materialistic new fiancé, my stepfather, were only living there as trustees. They knew this, but they gambled on my ignorance, assuming they could bully me out of my inheritance. On my birthday, even my estranged father was there, part of their united front to kick me out. They wanted the house for themselves after their wedding. Plans change, my stepfather sneered. We need it more than you do. They slid a stack of papers across the table, trying to trick me into signing away my rights. But then I remembered my grandfather once telling me, one day, all of this will be yours. I made sure of it. Something clicked. I refused to sign, telling them I needed to speak with my grandfather's attorney. Their smiles faltered. The attorney was horrified. He confirmed my ownership and called their actions fraudulent. His advice was simple: play along while he prepared the real legal documents. So I did. I moved in with a friend, let my family think I was defeated, and even promised my mother I'd bring the signed papers to her wedding as a gift. Their greed made them blind. On their wedding day, I arrived at the house before the reception began, but I wasn't alone. I brought my attorney and a sheriff. When my mother and stepfather pulled into the driveway, beaming in their wedding attire, we were waiting. What's going on? My mother demanded. The sheriff handed them the official documents. According to the county and a legally executed will, this property belongs solely to your son. He has not authorized its use for this event. The blood drained from my mother's face. My stepfather turned purple. This can't be right, he sputtered. Your son became the legal owner 3 months ago on his birthday, the attorney stated calmly. The papers you tried to have him sign were an attempt at fraud. Guests began arriving, confused by the scene. You can't do this. My stepfather snarled at me. We have 100 people coming. I looked him dead in the eye. Actually, I can, and I am. My mother broke down, mascara streaking her face. How could you do this to me on my wedding day? The same way you handed me an eviction notice on my 18th birthday, I replied, my voice cold as ice. My father arrived and tried to play peacemaker, but I shut him down. When my aunt called me selfish, I told her to ask her sister about trying to steal a teenager's inheritance. The truth spread through the crowd like wildfire. My stepfather made one last desperate attempt. Name your price, he hissed. I just shook my head. You have 1 hour to remove your essentials. Anything left can be picked up next week. Where are we supposed to go? My mother cried. I glanced at my father. I hear his couch pulls out. They frantically packed a few things as the caterers left and guests fled the scene of humiliation. I later sold the house. It was tainted with too many bad memories. With the money, I paid for college and bought my own place. My mother and stepfather's marriage, built on greed, crumbled under financial strain, and they divorced 2 years later. Today, I'm successful, surrounded by true friends. I protected what my grandfather left me, but more importantly, I protected my own self-respect. Some families are bound by love. Others are just a shared history of trying to take what isn't theirs.